live on the air. I'm Richard Saile.
This is wild.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Loungetime. I'm your host, Rich Saile, and yes, finally, we're back in the main studio. All right, last week I had to travel, actually had a nice, I had a room where, I'm doing some things and stuff, but we're back in the main studio. Feels more like home anyway. We got a lot to get into today. Got some Week 5 stuff I want to talk about from Sunday's action, and Chief bandwagons. This is not the show you're going to think it's going to be. Okay? I'm telling you right now, this is going to be... You're not going to like what I'm going to say here. Because I've been waiting to... I'm waiting to chomp at the bit, man, because I got some stuff to get off my chest with you, Chief bandwagons. This is going to be fun. We got Week 6 picks to go over. And then, if we have time, I might give you my award picks early right now. For the 2023 season as of right now. We might save it for a mid-season episode. I'm still trying to coordinate some things for around mid-season. I'm trying to get maybe a guest to come on for mid-season where we can do like a conversation of like mid-season awards. You get the point. We did it last year. We're trying to get the same thing we had last year for it. So anyway, let's start with the Sunday action. We had a London game to start off the rip between the Jaguars and the Bills. Now, I did watch this game because my team did play the Bills, but this was before. Oh, wait. I'm calling on my team still? What's wrong with me? Find out later why. Anyway, I got to say, this game... Jacksonville won a sloppy effort. Both teams were sloppy, to be fair. Because, we're going to get into it, but Trevor Lawrence was okay. 25 of 37, 315 yards, a touchdown. Travis Etienne had him on fantasy. Almost put up 200 points for the week, if not for Daniel Carlson. We'll get into him later. But Travis Etienne gave me about 36 fantasy points. Good shit. Okay? 26 carries, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns. And they said the Bills' defense was weak against the run. Jacksonville finally learned how to use their running game. Good for them. Calvin Ridley, 7 catches, 122 yards. Christian Kirk, 6 for 78. That offensive line for Jacksonville, boy, they missed Jaywan Taylor because their offensive line struggled. 5 sacks allowed. The defense played really well once again. And they played very well against teams that I thought would score more on them. You've held the Bills to 20. You've held the Chiefs to about 20. Okay? The Colts you gave up a little bit more than you like, probably. The Texans you gave up some points to. And Atlanta, had an all right day. Jacksonville's defense has actually surprised me through the first 5-6 weeks of the season. Can't lie. They really have. Now, do I think it's going to be this way throughout the whole season? I'm going to say no, but if they keep doing this, I'm going to be pretty surprised. But this was a huge win for them. I did pick Buffalo to win. I was so wrong, but for different reasons. But give Jacksonville credit. They've done a very good job against Buffalo and Kansas City, 2 teams I thought that would score like crazy on them, and they've kind of kept them in check. Both teams have their own issues going on, but still, Jacksonville's defense has been proving me wrong through 5-6 weeks. I'm actually surprised by this. 20 points allowed, a fumble recovery, an INT. This is what sets me off, okay? Need a drink. Sorry. Right before half, Trevor Lawrence. It's third down. There's 17 seconds left in the half. You have one timeout. Can someone please tell me what the problem is by running the football, taking your last timeout, and going up 2 scores? Someone please tell me what's wrong with that. Well, not 2 scores, but you still go up 7 at half, right? Would you rather be up 7 or would you rather be up 4 at half? Common sense says 7, right? Why are you letting Trevor Lawrence throw the ball if you can barely protect him, 1, and 2, he has to get rid of the ball because A, worst comes to worst, if it's inbounds, clock's running, you have a timeout ready to call and go up 7. 2, if he throws it away, the clock stops. And you don't have to call your timeout. You still kick a field goal. 3, well, the worst happens. He fumbles the ball, and Buffalo gets it. I don't get why you're oversimplifying a situation so easy. Like, you're playing great. You're holding Josh Allen and the Bills in check. They haven't moved the ball well at this point. Instead, I don't know if this is Doug Peterson making a play call or if this is Lawrence suggesting a pass. I don't know what it is. But go up 7 at half. You've got momentum in the game. Luckily, the Bills weren't able to capitalize on that for this game. But fucking run the ball, call your timeout, and go up 7 in the locker room, and you get the ball to start the second half. There you go. It's not rocket science. It's not aerodynamics. Then the second one, basically the same thing. What do? Same thing happens. Drop back, fumble. They're lucky they won because Travis Etienne freaking had 2 big runs that set the whole game over. Why are you overcomplicating the most easiest shit in the world? Not the most easiest shit in the world, but you get what I'm saying. The easiest situations. Take the points. You're playing great. The Bills haven't done shit at this point, and this should not have been a 5-point game. This should not have been a 5-point game. They played sloppy. They had very little run. Well, it was just not good situational awareness. Okay, but you get the point of that, all right? 10 of 18 on third down, that's going to work, okay? Over 50% is great, right? 2 for 4 in the red zone, that needs to work, but they'll get that corrected. 8 penalties, 2 turnovers, equals sloppy. Plain and simple. Which brings me to the Bills. Before I go into them, as a fan, I thought, okay, worst comes to worst, Miami beats the Giants. Bills lose to Jacksonville. All right, we win a game. We're still a game behind them. Jets beat Denver. Okay, we're basically, within a game or 2. And then the result happened, which did not make me happy. But that got thrown out the window, literally. But let's go to this game. Josh Allen, 27 of 48, 359 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and a rushing touchdown. The Jags figured out a way to kind of show that the Bills had very little running game. I almost said it for Jacksonville. I'm lucky I saved myself there. The Bills had very little running game. And they, once again, are like, all right, Josh Allen, do what you got to do. Let him be Superman. That's your best hope, right? Well, I could see that the Jags did their homework because they're like, if Josh Allen plays Superman, he's going to make mistakes. Well, he did make an interception, so that was checkbox number 1. Stephon Diggs, 8 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown. Still frustrated in these games, and this is, again, going back to the playoff game last year where he's throwing tantrums on the sidelines. He's still doing it in losses. The Bills got to deal with this whole situation all offseason, and imagine they don't go where they need to go. How rough that's going to be. Oh, that's going to be real brutal. Okay? Gabe Davis, 6 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Deontay Hardy, who had 2 catches, 62 yards. He's been their little big dynamo player. that comes in for some gadget plays. Defense, 25 points allowed, 5 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries. They did okay. They didn't play great, but now we got to remember this. Tre'Davious White got lost week 4 against the Dolphins with an Achilles. Milano's now out for the season. Bills lost 2 key guys in a span of 2 weeks. This is not good. And they just got Von Miller back, and they lost 2 of their all-pro guys, Pro Bowl guys. Milano's all-pro. Tre'Davious White, I think, made an all-pro, but I know he's a Pro Bowler. But they're still 2 key guys. They are getting really bad luck on defense injury-wise right now. And that might come back to bite them really bad, which 2 key guys on defense is not good to lose. Now, they obviously had the interception I talked about with Josh Allen. That was bad because they were moving nice and he throws the pick in the third quarter. Ended up being a key play in the game. 5 of 12 on third down. You know, all right, not great. 11 penalties for 109 yards and 2 turnovers. Is the Bills' Super Bowl window closing? Well, let's think about some things first. I picked them to come out of the AFC beginning of the year because, A, I wasn't sure about Joe Burrow's knee injury. I think the Chiefs, like I said, I thought the Chiefs would make the AFC Championship game. I'm going to talk about them in a little bit because I'm going to have fun poking the bear on that. And I was starting to see, you know what? Let's take a look at the Bills, right? Since they started breaking through and winning the division, they went to an AFC Championship game, blew the game in 13 seconds, lost in the divisional round, okay? Same thing, they go to the divisional round, except by a wider margin they lose, 22-10. So, down, maybe down now. They're 3-2 through 5 weeks. Luckily, their schedule's a little more favorable, but they've got some teams coming up that are going to be, it's not going to be that pretty, especially in the back half of the year. It's going to be rough, and that's where I need to see if this team's got the mental toughness makeup to be able to handle this stuff, because if Stephon Diggs is getting mad on the sidelines, especially when they're losing games, that's a recipe spelling for disaster, okay? In a division where the Jets have Zach Wilson, the New England Patriots are inept to move the ball on offense, and Miami is the one, and you just shellacked Miami, yet Miami has a 2-game lead up on you. Well, actually a game, I'm sorry. A game up lead, I'm sorry. They were both 3-1 entering last Sunday. But, and I think Miami's schedule is about to get brutal towards the end of the second half of the season. But at least Buffalo and Miami are likely to overcome those issues compared to the other 2 teams in the division. Sean McDermott might be on the hot seat because he just, you know, they hit him in the Diggs situation, right? But it just feels like to me, if they don't achieve at least a Super Bowl appearance, he might be gone. And I don't wish that at all. I think McDermott's a good coach. But in terms of this team, he's had some questionable game management calls, especially in the postseason. 13 seconds with the Chiefs, right? He just has had some bad games where you wonder, can he handle the pressure in Buffalo? And it's kind of looking like right now, the last 2 years, not really. They have to make at least a Super Bowl appearance this year for him to at least maybe, I think, avoid the hot seat pressure. But something is off with this team. They're talented as a roster, but there's just something not meshing where they can be really good. It's like you can't figure them out really, and it's a recurring pattern in the last 2 years. And entering year 3, this is another thing where it looks like it's the same shit again. But the Bills Super Bowl window, it's not closing yet, but there is a chance that there's a high possibility of it happening, especially if they don't go as far as they could go this year. Oh, this is a fun game I can't wait to talk about. I tweeted about this game. Ravens-Steelers. No, I'm not talking about No. This game I actually tweeted after the game. Okay? Now, allow me to tell you guys a story. Real fast. Promise. I have a friend of mine who I've had on the show last year. Okay? I've had him twice. Okay? Steelers fan. He sat right here. He tells me, Rich, I'm not watching this game. I'm like, whoa. Why not? You're 2-2. You're better than my team is. Yeah, well, we suck. Okay. Would you rather be 2-2 or would you rather be 1-3? Okay? This was after this game with the Texans. Okay? I'm texting this guy back and forth. Texting my friend back and forth. Okay? I told him, I said, you know, if you're a real football fan, you watch. I've watched all 5 of my team's games, and trust me, it sucks right now, but at least I still watch up until this weekend. I am done. I'll get to that when we get to picks. Now, I told him, I said, if you're a real fan, you watch. You're 2-2. He's like, you know what, Rich, I'll watch it. He never told me after the game, you know what, Rich, you were right. But I told him this. I told him, this is what I'm going to bring up right now. I told him, I said, you know why I took the Steelers? Because you keep telling me you guys own Lamar Jackson. You keep telling me this. And Sunday, it showed once again. So, I have to say this because I know he's going to watch. But, that's what he told me. And he keeps preaching the choir on this. Well, he's right about that. But, he ended up watching and he ended up being really happy about it. I told him, are you glad you watched? No answer. Still and since he has not told me that answer. Lamar Jackson. Now, listen. As a scrambling, running quarterback, he is impressive. I will give you that. But as a passer, there's different questions. Okay? I've said a couple times, the one thing that he needs to work on is his accuracy and his ability as a passer. I don't know if I mentioned it last year or 2 years ago when I started this. I don't know if the Ravens are holding back Lamar's ability to throw the ball because they don't have confidence in it, or Lamar's just scared to throw. To me, Lamar Jackson is not a great passer. Okay? And I said beginning of the season, I had my cousins on here. I had my uncle on here. I said the same shit. There is no excuse for Lamar Jackson because they gave him receivers, a new offensive coordinator, and they gave him a contract. Okay, but why is he playing bad still? Why can't he throw? Oh, wait. Did you ever think maybe he couldn't throw the ball well as a passer to begin with? Maybe that's what it is. We're just afraid to say it. He can't throw. He cannot throw the ball well. Okay? He can't throw it accurately. And that's it. Randall Cunningham had an arm. Michael Vick had an arm. Were they accurate? No. Steve Young could throw the ball accurately. He had a pretty good arm. Okay? Lamar Jackson, he's basically like Michael Vick and Randall Cunningham. Great scrambling quarterbacks. You know, Lamar's got a little decent arm compared to Cunningham and Vick. But like those other two, he's not quite accurate with the ball. Okay? And maybe he just isn't maybe he's just not a passer. Maybe he's not a great passer. Okay? 22-38, 236 yards, an interception. I'm going to get to that interception in a little bit because that was an absolute. We'll get to it. Okay? Justice Hill rushing touchdown. Zay Flowers 5 catches, 73 yards. Mark Andrews 6 catches, 65 yards. Nelson Aguilar 4 for 64. Yet the Ravens fans and the Lamar Jackson bandwagons blame the receivers. What? Because they dropped a couple passes? Whoa. The same Lamar Jackson that won unanimous league MVP. We're going to shift the blame off him and point it to those receivers he got? Isn't Mark Andrews a Pro Bowl All-Pro tight end? Wasn't Odell Beckham a top 5 receiver at one point in the league? I understand he had 2 years off and he's nowhere near the same, but he's better than what they had. Zay Flowers was the best receiver in the draft, right? Nelson Aguilar won a Super Bowl. What's the problem? Why are we blaming the receiver still? Oh, but you can't catch and he can't throw, Rich. Yeah, but you gave him receivers. You gave him a new coordinator. Yet the same results are happening. You tell me. You tell me why. No excuses. No. Not on this show. No. No way. He does not get a pass. No. Enough of the receiver blaming. Okay? Your quarterback played a bad game. Straight up. Calling it like it is. And I'm not afraid to do it. All right? Now, there's another dynamo that I got to address. Another elephant in the room. Actually, let me add this real point real quick. Offensive line had 4 sacks allowed. Partially on Lamar not throwing the ball away a lot. But that offensive line, they're not terrible. But like I said, they're run blocking line. They're not a pass blocking line. Defense, they had a block punt that went against them. I didn't count the 7 there. So they gave up 10 points allowed. They got a fumble recovery. Okay. They did their job. They held the Steelers offense in check up until one big play in the game. Okay? This is the elephant in the room that needs to get addressed. I'm going to just list the missed opportunities one by one, and I'll tell you what I think it is. Fumble, turnover on downs, the safety, interception, fumble, turnover on downs. You know what I think it is? It's a combination of a lot of things, but it comes down to one big thing. Why is John Harbaugh not getting enough heat compared to Brandon Staley, compared to other coaches? Why? Why is he not getting the same heat? Brandon Staley believes in analytics, yet he gets roasted every week. John Harbaugh's blown a lot of games since he went to this analytics shit. Okay? In the last, let's be honest, in the last 3 years, he's blown a lot of games. Because of him going for it on 4th and 1 and shit. A lot of games he's blown. Remember last year? Buffalo, Jacksonville. Remember the Raiders game on Monday night? A couple years ago? Remember that? How about, I mentioned Jacksonville last year. In Jacksonville. I mean, listen. Enough's enough with this shit. Lamar Jackson is getting the majority of blame. But the elephant in the room that needs to be addressed is, why is John Harbaugh not getting the same amount of heat other coaches like Brandon Staley and them get criticized for and get killed for every damn week? Why? There's no exemption to him. He's the same thing as Brandon Staley going for analytics and shit. 4th down in opponent's territory. Why isn't he getting the same heat? He's blown a lot of games the last 2-3 seasons. Why? Just because he won a Super Bowl and Brandon Staley has it? Why? Makes no sense to me. He's blown a lot of games. Yet nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody. But I will. That is a no-no. They had a 10-0 lead with 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. And you mean to tell me that for 42 minutes, you can't score a point? With Kenny Pickett on the other side and Matt Canada calling plays, you can't score any points. No, they had the chances. They just can't. No, Harbaugh gets in his own way. They had a chance to at least put 3 or 7 boneheaded coaching mistakes. I'm telling you, and I've criticized coaches for 3 years on this show. I've criticized Belichick's decision-making, even though that's a whole different thing because it's a grand scheme of things. I've criticized decisions Brandon Staley's done. Other coaches, why are we not holding John Harbaugh to the same standard? Because John Harbaugh does the same shit Brandon Staley does. Maybe not as much as Staley, but he does it basically the same as Staley. Why? I just want to know that answer. Because he blew this game. He blew this game. Like a lot of other games in the past. Okay? 1, 2, 3. 6 missed opportunities. 6. And you lost by 7. Inexcusable. Inexcusable. 5 of 14 on third down. 0 of 2 on fourth down. I mentioned that. 1 for 3 in the red zone. 3 turnovers. They're forgetting how to do the little things. And these little things are why they haven't gone as far as they need to go. Because Lamar Jackson was out the past 2 seasons. They're still blowing games. Oh, but they have the injury bug. Same results are still occurring. John Harbaugh's blowing a lot of games the last 3 years, and he's not getting the flack he should be getting. Should be getting a lot more heat than at least with Saile, in my opinion. Which brings me to the Steelers. Kenny Pickett, 18 of 32, 224 yards, a touchdown. George Pickens caught the 41-yard touchdown to basically give them the lead. 6 catches, 130 yards, and a touchdown. Offensive line for Pittsburgh, still a work in progress. 3 sacks allowed. Defense, 10 points, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 sacks, an interception. I said it the last time I talked about the Steelers. They are a top 10 defense. Forget what you saw last week. They had a bad week. Everybody's going to have a bad week in the league. Okay? They are going to be fine. Okay? And they basically beat up the Ravens. They bully balled them in Pittsburgh. Okay? 6 of 15 on third down. 0 of 2 in the red zone. They're going to need some work. The offense is not pretty. Yet they made the one big play in the game that got the job done. Special teams came up big. Block punt for a touchdown. Changed the whole game. Got them right back in it. I actually watched the third, a little bit of the third into the fourth. I actually watched that game over my game. Because how pathetic my own team was. But I'm not talking about them today. I'm not. Okay? Bottom line is, the Steelers are leading the AFC North and the Ravens blew a golden opportunity to have a nice lead in the division. And when the Bengals have their own problems with Joe Burrow's injury, you blew it. John Harbaugh should be getting a lot of heat in the media. Oh, I can't wait for this. Part 1, Chiefs-Vikings. Rich, they didn't lose. No, they didn't. But I did find something I want to share with y'all today. I did. I wanted to share this. Mahomes, 31 of 41, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns. Good game. You should have at least put 27 on the Vikings. Their defense can't stop a cold. Pacheco, 16 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown. Playing good for them. I'll give you that. Travis Kelce, I have him on my fantasy team. I'm guilty when I say this. Okay. 10 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. Rashee Rice had a touchdown. Defense did what they had to do. Held Kirk Cousins to 20 points. Fumble recovery. They got 3 sacks, right? 12 quarterback hits. Spags loves to blitz. Okay? Played good. But there's some little cracks I'm seeing with that team. You know? And I think it's more in the next game than it is this game specifically. But there's some little cracks starting to show on this team where I'm like, you know what? They might not make it far this year compared to the last couple of years. They might not. Oh, last time you did this, Rich, they were 3-4, and they ended up going to the AFC Championship game anyway. Yeah. May not be this year. Oh, no. It may not be this year. You see Miami? Buffalo had a loss. Buffalo did beat you last time you guys met. Cincinnati, you got bailed out by them last year. What a call. Okay? They'll be all right. Pittsburgh's got a defense. Granted, their offense is more shittier than they are. But, man, that defense can keep them in the game. You haven't played the Chargers yet. I know Brandon Staley can botch games. Jacksonville should have beat you if not for some dumb coaching blunders. Cracks are slipping. I'm not going there yet, but if one of those teams in the field get hot and they ever play it, Kansas City's in trouble. I'm telling you. And I stand by I stand by Andy Reid taking over play calling duties over in week 8, week 9. There's no way they're going to stick with Matt Nagy for a whole season. There's no way. Okay? 9 of 15 on third down. That's great. 10 penalties, 86 yards? What? What's with the Chiefs committing a lot of penalties lately? Well, what's this? Jacksonville, they committed a lot. The Jets, they hung tough with. Right? Mahomes looked off again. Mahomes got outplayed by Zach Wilson the week before. Now they're committing a lot of penalties again. Don't get me started with Thursday night. We'll get to that game. Little cracks are showing, Chief bandwagons, and I'm seeing it. But nobody wants to point this out because they're 5-1. Remember when the Patriots were what, 8-0? They won the Super Bowl the year before, and everybody was like starting to say they don't look right at 8-0, and they beat all these cupcakes, right? Did we ever think the Chiefs beat some cupcakes so far this season? I think they have. Wait till they play the good teams. Let's see what happens. Because they got a glaring issue that I think teams are finding out more and more. Okay? Which brings me to the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, 29 of 47, 284 yards, 2 touchdowns. They had no running game whatsoever. Jordan Addison, 6 catches, 64 yards and a touchdown. Madison had a receiving touchdown. Offensive line still had a shaky day, 3 sacks allowed. Defense still can't stop a cold, 27 points allowed, 2 sacks, right? No takeaways in this game. You have to be able to get a takeaway to at least give you a chance in this game, especially against a team like this, okay? Fumble early in the game, gave him 7. Big play in the game. Turnover on downs. This is where I'm so disappointed in people. They get mad that the ref didn't throw a flag on the Chiefs guy who had his helmet off, which should have been a first down. You know why I'm not surprised by it? I did try to tell you they're going to get all the calls. And I hate the Chiefs. You know me. I roast them on the show when they lose. I throw a parade. You remember 2 years ago when I threw the parade and Mahomes lost to Cincinnati? Yeah. But guess what, though? I told you they're going to get all the calls because they got to protect the face of the league. And now that his go-to target is dating Taylor Swift, oh, and don't get me started on Thursday with the little video they showed. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. The toxic bandwagons had their 2 most annoying people team up, and it's bad enough that those 2 are now together. They're going to be besties by the time these people meet with Chief home games. Oh my God, we are so doomed. If you don't know what I'm referring to, if you watch the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'll bring it up when I talk about the Thursday night game, bro. No, and honestly, you know what my answer was when I saw it live? Who cares? Who cares? Actually, I should say this now. If you don't know what I'm referring to when they showed Taylor Swift and Mahomes' wife. That's what I meant. Okay? Now, just to clarify, that with the 2 of them now teaming up, they'll be sitting next to each other during basically every Chiefs home game. It's going to be unbearable. It's going to be unbearable, bro. Oh, my God. Yep, we're in trouble. The Chiefs toxic bandwagons got, a dynamic duo of toxicity going on over there. Oh, no, man. Just the last thing we need to see. The last thing we need to see is those 2 team up and just keep driving the bus of those obnoxious, delusional, toxic bandwagons. It's bad, bro. And then you got people up here that are like, they're all mad, like they're surprised that the Chiefs are getting all the calls. Duh, they've won 2 Super Bowls. What, you didn't act like you seen the Patriots get all the calls? These are the same people that got mad the Patriots got all the calls. What, the Chiefs not getting the calls is still a surprise for you? Still? Even Mad Dog, when First Take, he got mad at all the calls they were getting. He sees it too. But I've seen this the last 3 years, and I'm not surprised by this. The refs won't do it. We all know the Bengals championship game, and we all know the Eagles Super Bowl, they got bailed out. You know the league, and this brings it to my biggest point. Welcome to the National Mahomes League, everyone. I told my friend that's a Vikings fan after the game, welcome to the National Mahomes League, man. where they get constantly bailed out. He literally texted me, I'm sick of Mahomes getting bailed out all the time. Well, that's unfortunately the world that we're in. Welcome to the National Mahomes League. I said it last year. I said it 2 years ago too. Shame, 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 shame. 6-14, 2 for 4 in the red zone, turnover. Vikings, you might as well just get rid of Danielle Hunter and Kirk Cousins and start building for the future at this rate. They have been absolutely disappointing so far this season. Packers and the Raiders. Jordan Love sucks. 16-30, 182 yards, 3 interceptions. Rich, you've only watched 7 games on Jordan Love. It's not fair to judge him yet. Did you watch Monday night? Some of the throws he made? What the fuck is he seeing in the field? I gotta know this. I'm texting my friends in a group chat. I'm like, bro, Jordan Love sucks. One says to me, why do you say that? He stares his receivers down long. Okay? That's 1. 2, when he senses any bit of pressure, he makes mistakes. Okay? He just doesn't have it. I mentioned some of the games how bad he's been this year. I have. This is another example. Okay? He played horrible Monday night. Horrible. Some of the reads you go, what? When he sat behind 3 years behind Aaron Rodgers. Green Bay kept saying, oh yeah, we got something. Yeah. Well, you're the same guys that pushed Aaron Rodgers at the back door. Because you were tired of his shit. That Brett Favre pulled too. You pulled the plug on Aaron Rodgers. Because you kept saying, oh yeah, you got something with Jordan Love. Now I get it. Rodgers struggled his first year. I know. He went 6-10. Jordan Love, you beat the Bears and the Saints with Derek Carr basically being out in the third quarter. That basically changed the whole game. That's not impressive. It's not impressive. Okay? And don't give me the Raiders is impressive. Stop. I have my own issues with the Raiders, which we'll get into in a second. A.J. Dillon, 20 carries, 76 yards, a touchdown. Aaron Jones was out. Christian Watson, 3 catches, 91 yards. Defense, 17 points allowed. Did enough for them to win the game. 4 sacks, interception. The one where he throws the last one, Christian Watson's open. He just waits too long, and the DB closes out and makes the play. Inexperience is definitely kicking in. I'll give you that. But Jordan Love just doesn't have it. He's not that guy. And he has the balls to be shit-talking against Atlanta after you beat the Bears, whose only win was Thursday night against the Commanders last Thursday. Really, Jordan Love? And the Saints with Derek Carr basically being out. You should not even be shit-talking right now. He's won really one game. Come on, bro. Come on. He's not that good. He's just not. Okay? Now, the good news is they're going to get a first-round pick from the Jets, so they got all their time to evaluate quarterbacks and stuff. He's not the future. And guess what you're going to have to do soon? You're going to have to decide if you're going to pick up that fifth-year option. You're going to have to. Or if you are going to pick it up or not. Because if you didn't, you're going to have to sign him a big contract to keep him if you really think he's the answer. But if he isn't, you're going to have to start looking for a quarterback because he's not it. Okay? 4-12 on third down, 1 for 3 in the red zone, 3 turnovers. Little things you don't do well, and that's why. You know what, too? Maybe Matt LaFleur's a puppet. Maybe he's just not a good coach. Maybe Matt LaFleur's a puppet that Aaron Rodgers had. Yeah. That's what I think. Matt LaFleur's a puppet, and we're seeing it unfold. Brings me to the Raiders. If there's one person that's bragging about this game, we had him on. He picked them to make the playoffs. You're really going to brag about beating Jordan Love? Oh, don't you go there. No. You're not going to do that with me. He didn't, though. But I know when he's watching, he's going to be bragging about this. Don't get me started next week. I'm going to pick that in a little bit. Jimmy Garoppolo, 22-31, 208 yards, touchdown to pick. He had a bad interception too, you know. That's not that good. Josh Jacobs, 20 carries, 69 yards and a touchdown. He who must not be named 7 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown. It's not Devontae Adams. It's the other receiver they have who used to play for my team. O-line, 4 sacks allowed. Still a question mark. Defense, 13 points allowed, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions. Robert Spillane had 2 interceptions. Crosby had another monster game. He basically, had a big highlight game that everybody saw. Max Crosby's a stud, man. Okay? Missed field goal, interception, missed field goal. They still had so many missed opportunities that kept Green Bay in the game. You cash in on 2 of them, it's not even a close contest. Daniel Carlson, my kicker in fantasy. If you made both field goals, I would have been this close to 200 for the week. This close. You know how close I was? I was 9 points off. I was 9 points off from getting 200 in fantasy this week. And Daniel Carlson freaking blew it. God. Would have been nice because I wanted to brag about getting 200 in fantasy. I can't do it now because Daniel Carlson had the best 2 field goals. 5 of 13 on third down, that's mid. This is an outlier. And I saw their upcoming schedule. They should make a run, yes, but it's a fake run. You know why? Because none of those teams have a passing game. And what did I say about the Raiders in the beginning of the year? They have no cover guys. Oh, well, they covered Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson. Did you see the one bomb Christian Watson caught? He should have scored. Yeah, if any of those teams that they play have somewhat of a passing game, oh, they do? The Lions. Yeah, wait till they play in Detroit next time they're on Monday night. Oh, that's going to be, yeah. Let's see how they do with the Lions with an actual passing game. That's going to be fun. Okay, that's going to be fun to watch. Yeah, wake me up for that game. I want to see that game. Everybody else, snooze fest. I don't care. Okay? I don't care. All right? Oh, and guess who they play right after their cupcake schedule? Miami's in there. The Chiefs are in there. The Chargers, I think, one more time. Oh. No, that's not going to go well. Nope. Nope. This means nothing right now. Nothing. Okay? Because in the end, they're going to do what they always do. Commit a lot of penalties, turnovers, and they're going to shoot themselves in the foot with those missed opportunities like they did the first 4 weeks of the season. Watch. Watch. They're going to revert back to those ways. Don't buy into the hype. Don't. All right, so that was some of the Week 5 action I wanted to talk about. Let's quickly talk about the Thursday night game between the Broncos and Chiefs. This was an ugly game to watch. I actually had to watch this game because I was working on something else while I was doing this. Russell Wilson, you shit the bed, man. 13 to 22 for 95 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. Whoa. Wait. 13 to 22, 95 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks? What? That's a Zach Wilson stat line. What the? And you wanted Sean Payton to be your head coach in Seattle. Pete Carroll's looking more like fine wine and gold for getting rid of Russell Wilson. Pete Carroll looks actually really, really better the more he sucks in Denver. He looks like a genius. Wish my coach was. At least right now I wish he was, but that's a whole different topic. Sean Payton's going to get rid of him at the end of the year. There's no way. Denver, they have their own issues on defense. Here's the thing. Their defense played well enough to win this game. And I said the reason I took the Chiefs, Broncos defense sucks. Wrong unit showed up. The Broncos offense didn't show up. The Denver defense showed up. Yep. Javonte Williams, 10 carries, 54 yards. Sutton had a receiving touchdown. Offensive line couldn't protect Russell Wilson, 4 sacks allowed. Defense, like I said, 19 points allowed, 2 sacks. Interception they got on Mahomes in the red zone. They did all they could to keep him in the game. They had no offense. They had no offense in this game. It was so pathetically putrid and disgusting to watch. Turnover on downs, interception, fumble. 4 of 10 on third down, 3 turnovers. The Denver Broncos are in the conversation for one of the worst teams in the National Football League. Probably the worst team in the National Football League. With my Patriots, Carolina's up there because they're 0-5. They are bad, bro. They are bad. Oh my God. They are bad, bro. Okay? Which brings me to the Chiefs. Mahomes, 30 of 40, 306 yards, touchdown, interception. Don't let that fool you. He didn't play that great this game either. Okay? Pacheco, 16 carries, 62 yards. Kelsey, 9 for 124. Rashee Rice, 4 for 72 yards. Let's be honest here. The defense really won them the game. 8 points allowed, fumble recovery, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions. The Chiefs' defense basically won them this game. Their offense did mediocre. Okay? You imagine if Tom Brady's offense played like that? Or Aaron Rodgers played like that? They'd be going, the media would be killing them the next day. But we're not saying the Chiefs' offense is that bad right now. Let me tell you this, Chief bandwagons. Wait till Travis Kelsey gets double covered, triple covered in a game. Who are you going to rely on to win games? Because you might not have the playmakers you had. Your offense is very shaky. And Eric Bieniemy should have kept him. You know why he took the Washington job? Because Andy Reid was getting all the credit. Andy Reid was taking, it was all Andy Reid, right? Let's have this conversation at the end of the season. Let's see how about that goes. Because let me tell you, they miss Bieniemy too. Matt Nagy, I'm telling you right now, he will not be calling plays by midseason. Andy Reid will take that over. Watch. He's not going to sit for this. This offense does not look good. No way. 5-1. You know what they remind me of? 2019 Patriots. They had a really good defense. People were like, oh yeah, they look all-time great defense. Really good. Offense was sluggish. Watch what happens when they play good teams. The cracks will start to crack more, and somebody's going to figure them out. Watch. It's starting slowly. It's just slowly unmasking itself. Okay? Interception in the red zone, turnover on downs. Shaky. 4-13 in the red zone. 4-13 on third down, sorry. 1 for 5 in the red zone. 1 for 5? 7 penalties, 84 yards. Sloppy. Sluggish, too. 1 for 5 in the red zone. Them. Not good. Not good. And what, now, like, what's the head of the snake is trying to blame Mahomes for how bad they are? Whoa. We're not going to do this, Nick Wright. No. We're not going to do this. You know who's to blame? You guys are just not that good. You're just trying to, slither your way and try to not say what you really want, not say what you really want to say. You're not fooling me, man. These eyes see it all. I watch your games with the Chiefs. I do. I didn't watch the Viking game, to be honest. I was going to get lunch somewhere. But I saw a little bit. I watched this game, though. They don't look good. You got a bigger problem than you imagine. It's just going to unmask itself by the end of the season. Watch. All right. Let's get to the picks. Week 6. Here we go. Ravens-Titans kicking it off in London again. Another early start. As much as I roasted the Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, don't be surprised if Tennessee wins, but I'm taking the Ravens in this one. Because A, the Ravens are an elite run defense. They'll take away Derrick Henry, I believe. And I think that Lamar Jackson will be able to outplay Ryan Tannehill slightly and do enough to win. I'm going the Ravens in a low-scoring, physical contest. I'm going 19-16 Ravens over the Titans. Washington Commanders, Atlanta Falcons. You really want me to believe Desmond Ritter's just finally turned the corner after one comeback win against the Texans? No. Sam Howell, he's not bad, but he's not insanely good. He's right in the middle. The Washington Commanders are going to bounce back, and I have faith in them to win this game in Atlanta. Give me Washington 24-17 over Atlanta. Bears-Vikings. I don't feel good about this, but I got to take a chance on an upset. I'm going to take a chance here. I'm taking Chicago +3. I think they're going to win. Because the Chicago Bears, they are starting to finally get something on offense going in the right direction. Now, am I sold on the defense? No. But Justin Jefferson's on IR for the Vikings. And I think the Vikings have a bigger problem on defense because they can't stop a cold. I think Justin Fields is going to go off again. And I think the Chicago Bears are going to beat the Minnesota Vikings 28-23 because I think Justin Fields is going to go off on Minnesota's defense. And I think Kirk Cousins, without Justin Jefferson, it's going to be a long game for the Vikings. 28-23, Chicago over the Vikings. Yeah, we're taking an upset. Let's go. Bengals, Seattle. I will watch this game. I want to check this game out. I think this is a sneaky good game in a week. Okay? Seattle coming off a bye. Joe Burrow in a game they got to win to go to 500. I was tossed back and forth. This game could go either way. I'm going to take Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati, they are still alive to win the AFC North. Everybody in that division's got flaws. Cincinnati's still in the picture. I'm going to take the Bengals to win at home against Seattle. I think that this is going to be a very good game. And I think that the Bengals are going to be able to find a way to beat Seattle because I trust Jamar Chase. I trust the Bengals and Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow to be able to find some little cracks in Seattle's defense to win the game. Give me Cincinnati 27, Seattle 24. Niners, Browns. Deshaun Watson is out this week for the Browns, which makes it that simple for me. 49ers 34, Cleveland Browns 9. Deshaun Watson's out. Still taking the Niners. It's just going to be by a wider margin. 34-9. 49ers over the Browns. That's what I got. Miami, Carolina. Bryce Young, Panthers. Oh, boy. I'm sorry. Miami's going to go crazy all over them once again. Carolina's got some injuries on defense. Von Bell and I think Miles Sanders are banged up. Combined with some of their injuries they've had, Miami should put up 30 again. I'm going Miami 33, Carolina 13. Simple. Miami's offense is going to be a problem for Carolina. Carolina can't protect Bryce Young. I'm going Miami 33, Carolina 13. Jaguars-Colts. Anthony Richardson's out. I would have liked the Colts in this spot if Richardson played, but he's on IR, expected to miss, I think, 4 to 6 weeks, I want to say. I think. But he's out. I'm going to go Jacksonville 23-14 over the Colts. I think Jacksonville, with the win against the Bills in London, I think the Jaguars have finally found something that they can build on. They need to achieve that balance and stick with it. Give me Jacksonville 23, the Colts 14. Texans Saints. Give me the upset once again. Why are they getting home dogs? They've been playing good through 5 weeks. Give me the Texans to beat the Saints. Okay? I know the Saints are a better team. I understand that. But let me tell you this. DeMeco Ryans is going to find some creative ways to blitz Derek Carr and the Saints. And I think that while they may not have the talent, the Texans, I think the Texans have played a lot better than people have given them credit for through 5 weeks. I think they're going to win against the Saints. 23-17 over the New Orleans Saints. Give me the Texans. Plus the points and the upset. Rams-Cardinals. Very close to them making my survivor pick, but the fact that they play the Cardinals twice a year, I'm saving the Rams for my survivor pick. So I'm going to go with the Rams 30-16 over the Cardinals because I think Sean McVay with Cooper Kupp back, Nakua's been playing really good for them. I'm going to take the Rams to win because those two guys are back and Sean McVay is going to find ways to score points. Eagles-Jets. Darius Slay and Jalen Carter are out. I almost took the Eagles. I'm glad I didn't take them this week because those two injuries are big. Eagles may win ugly, but Zach Wilson behind that, going against that front, nope. Give me the Eagles 23-10 over the Jets. I just think the Eagles, they're gonna get after Zach Wilson, and I think that the Jets, they might make it closer than people think. I don't think they got enough horses to compete with Philly. Eagles 23, Jets 10. Oh, I forgot. Wait, we still got to talk about them, really? Oh, yeah, we have to? Okay. Raiders and the Patriots. Oh, my God. No, I'm not watching Sunday. I have another game I'd rather watch. It's actually right after this I'm picking. We can't score. We have nobody that can separate. We have very little to no running game, and don't even get me started on that offensive line. 2 guys on defense are out. Oh, the main reason. Bill Belichick can't beat his own assistants. He's 0-2 against Josh McDaniels, and he can't beat his assistants. So, easy. Raiders 26, New England Patriots 12. Book it. I'm not picking my team to win, and I'm not watching. Nope. Don't care. They're not worth talking about anymore. Lions, Bucks. This game I'm watching. I actually want to watch this. Okay, this is the game I'm actually watching at 4 o'clock. That's where I'm at. I like Detroit. I really do. I think the Lions, I hope Amon-Ra St. Brown's able to play because I think he is one of their big guys that will be able to make some plays against the Bucs defense who like to blitz a lot. I like Detroit to win in Tampa. I just think the Lions defense has been playing better and better as the season's gone on. Dan Campbell has really got his guys playing. They love playing for him. We're seeing the team grow and mature, and they're playing loose and confident and free. And that's what you want if you're the Lions. And I think the Lions, I know they got expectations, they're managing, but they know they are a much better football team than they were around this time last year. Give me the Lions 28-24 over the Bucs. I trust Jared Goff over Baker Mayfield. Okay? Bills, Giants. Okay. I got to clarify something before I start. You guys know how I picked them in an earlier survivor pool. I have one left. I could use them. The one I lost was the fucking Cowboys, who I picked a week after I picked them against the Raiders, and that pool was out. I got one left. And I just learned Daniel Jones is out with a neck injury. Tyrod Taylor is going to start. The one time I'm going to fucking take the Bills to win, that's a lie because I'm taking them to win the week after. Spoiler alert. Check the schedule to see who they play after the Giants. They have to win this game because if you go to 3-3 and you fucking lose to the Giants, 1, there's going to be some major noise coming out of Buffalo if they lose. 2, you lose, I have to deal with annoying Giants fans again. And they've already finally started to realize they suck. Okay? They have to win this game. They will win this game. Give me the Bills 38-13 over the Giants. Cowboys, Chargers on Monday night. Kellen Moore plays his old team. Colin plays for the Chargers. Dak Prescott, young man, there's some pressure on you. You have got to do something and make sure your team doesn't get put in a hole. You cannot turn the ball over like you did against the 49ers in this week. You cannot do it. Chargers can score, okay? Mike Williams, I know, is out for the year, but they still got Keenan Allen. They got a lot of nice young receivers for the Chargers, okay? That defense with Bosa and Mack, okay, they're a problem, all right? But I'm going to take the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys, Dan Quinn has some creative schemes that are going to drive Kellen Moore. And I just think Brandon Staley is going to blow the game. He's going to show the world why he botches games time and time again and why he will probably not be the Chargers coach by the end of the season. Give me the Cowboys 27, the Chargers 24. All right, those are my Week 6 picks. All right, so let's hope for another great weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification button so that way you guys can get all the latest updates you guys need to follow up during the season. Also, be sure to follow at Loungetime Pod on X. We would really appreciate that. We're trying to build another community going on there so that way we can talk about the games and some thoughts you could share with me. Maybe we could even talk about them on the show. Who knows? Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Loungetime. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next week on the next episode of Loungetime. Have a good night, everybody.